Traditional job markets are highly competitive, repetitive, and unpredictable. Traditional job careers are no longer as secure as they were maybe 2 to 3 generations ago. More individuals have access to higher education, which tends to saturate the job market, and there are a lot higher number of people applying for the same type of jobs. With every passing year, job markets become a lot more international. Companies outsource labor in countries where they can hire someone that at times, honestly, is more effective and willing to work for half the price than their American counterpart. With automation at its highest, at its peak nowadays, tasks and abilities performed at a given job are becoming ever more repetitive, tiresome, and monotonous. We go to work and we find ourselves doing the same meaningless task over and over again, just to get home completely drained, mentally and physically, go to bed and wake up the following day to do it all over again. Job security is at an all-time low. The days where one person will spend most of their adult life working for one company and slowly move up the ranks are no longer here. They're completely gone. That was times maybe, I want to say in the 50s, the 60s, maybe up to the 80s, 90s. Now you can go to school, obtain a 4-year degree, and have little or nothing to show for it a few years later, other than school loans and massive disappointment. People are becoming unemployed after years of working for the same company to only find themselves unable to find someone that would hire them. And at times, they have to go into unpredictable and unstable work, like Uber, Amazon, Lyft, or DoorDash, which are, I want to say, like probably the most common jobs right nowadays. And a lot of employees are now hiring contractors, which receive less benefits and long-term security compared to traditional employees. The overall job market landscape is a bit frightening if one really steps back and takes a good look at it. The main problem is that the traditional education system prepares individuals for highly specialized work that isn't necessarily guaranteed by the job market. It creates a world where a large number of people with similar specializations are competing for a very reduced number of job positions. And those who aren't able to secure for themselves a job position that they find worthwhile and will provide a reasonable return on what they invested in their education are left with very few attractive options. Honestly, this reality makes it even more difficult when deciding if and what to study, or deciding on how much time or energy one should invest in specializing in a given area, or how much money one should spend going to a specific university, or how many years one should invest in a given company. The future of work, or at least traditional work, seems gloomier with every passing day. And to be more specific, the future of highly specialized work. This is where the one-person business model and personal branding come into play and present a lot of opportunities nowadays. Instead of spending years and thousands of dollars in learning a specific skill or trade, many people are choosing to take the generalist route and acquiring knowledge in a wide range of business and sales-related topics that will later allow them to build their own business around a personal brand. Personal brands are becoming a lot more attractive than ever, given that the modern consumer is more inclined to purchase a product or a service from an individual they like, admire, and could relate to. People have less trust in big, faceless companies and are more drawn to people and personalities. This shift is even more evident in markets for educational and health-related services. People are more likely to buy a course or follow a workout routine and health regimen designed and sold by a person that they follow maybe on social media and see almost on a daily basis. They feel more connected with this person and tend to have greater trust in the service that they're selling. Not only because they generally like this person, but also because they can see the results firsthand. They can see the growth that in this case, that influencer, that content creator has shown them. For example, I personally have a passion for photography and filmmaking. And in the past, I have preferred to buy courses from people I follow on social media before paying for a semester, say at an art institute or a university near where I live. There's just something about having some level of human connection with a person, creating the product or service you are buying that provides certain value that faceless companies just can't provide. And you can also see their skills firsthand and witness their growth through the content they put out daily, which helps you gauge better the type of success you might have if you're able to implement their methods. Not only are these services and products more attractive to modern consumers, but looking at things through the lens of the creator of a given product or service, one can see how that person is able to position his brand in such a unique way that it has little to no competition with other products among his audience. The creator, through the content he or she provides, and his or her unique personality, is able to build an audience that identifies with him or her as a human, like on a human level, as a human being, and they gain their trust as he builds his authority around a specific topic. This makes him or her almost irreplaceable and allows them to create a niche of his or her own. And when you are a niche of one, this makes you much more valuable. And when you become more valuable and irreplaceable, you're able to secure a career path that is a lot more sustainable in comparison to traditional careers where you are subject to, let's say, the mood of your bosses and the immediate demands of the company that you work in. So if you want to secure your future, it's easy to see how one of the best things you can do for yourself is actually start building your own personal brand and starting your own one-person business. You can build your brand around a particular interest or unique personality traits, or just your unique personality in general. And with time, you can explore different avenues of interest and see which of these resonate best among your audience and what type of digital products you can create around those interests and around that content that you're making to help other people solve their problems. A personal brand not only gives you the opportunity to build your one-person business that doesn't really rely on any company or force you to have to work with a specific boss, unlike, say, freelancing, where even though you think you work independently, you're actually working for a lot of different bosses at the same time. Trust me, I know this from experience. I currently freelance and it's a headache at times. The only difference is that these bosses are now called clients. A personal brand allows you to eliminate the boss, but also gives you the possibility of exploring different interests and allows you to develop yourself in each one. A personal brand pushes you towards self-improvement and self-actualization, because it forces you to learn how to identify the things that are holding you back, and it forces you to create strategies to overcome them. It teaches you how to solve problems and how to acquire new skills constantly. As you gain more skills and get into the routine of solving problems, you begin to trust more in your abilities and you gain confidence. So overall, a personal brand is very good for your self-esteem. This is something that isn't necessarily true at a traditional job. Traditional jobs are very specialized, and most employees have to focus on a small set of tasks in order to get their job done. And if there ever arises any problems, most of the time these issues are addressed by someone else further up the pipeline, say a manager or a director. So that one particular employee is never really forced to learn how to solve problems not related to the specific task he has at hand. This may seem as an advantage, but it's actually a disadvantage, because that person is never forced to learn something new and hence has never reason to develop and continue to grow. This is horrible when you take into account that that same attitude is carried onto that person's personal life. And that's why we see so many individuals that just stop learning new skills and solving problems after they reach a certain stage or a certain age in life, a certain level in their career. They get used to telling themselves that they are only capable with dealing with a small number of tasks and everything else is out of their reach, or it's really not their responsibility to solve. The individual who focuses on building a personal brand and starting their one-person business never has this mindset. They get used to solving problems and learning new skills almost immediately. And that builds the foundation to unlimited growth. Because even though that person may pivot as far as the type of brand they want to build or the type of products or service that they want to offer, they will always have that mindset, which allows them to grow in any area that they choose. And that person is a lot less likely to go back to boring, monotonous work. That person will be able to secure their future under almost any type of condition, because they will fundamentally be wired differently compared to the majority of people.